You get up from your chair, you climb the stairs, you carry the groceries in from the car. All of it depends on one thing, the strength in your legs. And that's exactly the strength your body starts to give up first after 50. But pay attention, because this changes everything. Most of the time, it isn't age that steals the strength from your legs, it's neglect. For decades, the Soviet Special Forces had a secret weapon against this problem. It wasn't a machine. It wasn't some complicated program. It was a single exercise, done the right way, in 5 levels of progression. The man who studied those soldiers and brought this method to the world is named Pavel Tsatsouline, a former Soviet Special Forces instructor, and today a strength advisor to the US Marines and the Navy SEALs. And the exercise is the squat, but not the squat you think you know. Today you're going to learn the 5 levels of the Soviet method, the same ones that keep legs strong at 60, at 70, and beyond. Stick around to the end, because level 5 is the one a Soviet athlete was still training well past the age of 80. Before the levels, here's a line from Pavel that changed the way millions of people think about training. Strength is the mother quality of all other physical qualities. Think about what that means in real life. Balance is strength, not falling is strength. Being able to get up off the floor on your own is strength. Playing with your grandkid and not being sore the next day is strength. And here's the detail almost nobody tells you. After 50, the legs are the first part of the body to lose muscle. Doctors even have a name for it, sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass with age. But sarcopenia isn't a sentence. It's mostly a habit. People lose strength in their legs not just because they get older, but because they stop using their legs with intention. The squat is nature's answer to that, and the Soviet method teaches you how to get that strength back safely, one level at a time. If you have problems with your knees, your spine, your heart, or you've been inactive for a long time, talk to your doctor before you start. The goal here is to build strength, not to push through pain. Level 1. The Prying Goblet Squat. The first level barely even looks like an exercise, and that's on purpose. It's called the Prying Goblet Squat. You hold a weight close to your chest. It can be a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or even a full water bottle, and you sink all the way down to the bottom of the squat. Then comes the difference. Instead of standing back up, you stay down there, and you start to explore the position. You shift the weight from one foot to the other. You lean your torso slowly forward. You breathe deep. You go looking for space inside your own joints. Pavel calls this finding space. Let me give you a picture. Imagine trying to pull a concrete post out of the ground. If you yank hard in one direction, the rope snaps. But if you rock the post, push it a little to one side, then the other, changing the angle, the post works its way loose bit by bit. Your hips work exactly the same way. Years of sitting locked up those joints. You don't free them by force. You free them by rocking, exploring, with patience. This isn't training. This is mobility. You're teaching your body that it's safe to move into these positions again. You're waking up muscles that have been asleep for years. And the best part, there's no rush at all. You can sit in this position while you watch TV. You can do it at the end of a long, tiring day. Your hips will thank you. This is the most underrated of the 5 levels, but it's the one that sets the ground for everything else. Level 2, the Goblet Squat. Now the real squat, and this is where the heart of the method lives. Why does Pavel recommend the goblet and not the traditional barbell back squat for people past 50? Because most people that age have an honest problem. They've forgotten how to squat properly. Years of sitting shortened the hips. The spine got stiff. The knees got touchy. If you load a heavy bar on your back on top of all that, you just speed up the bad patterns. You squat with your lower back rounded, the knees collapse inward, and the body moves like a rusty hinge. The goblet fixes this, almost on its own. Here's how to do it. Hold the weight at chest height, tight against your body. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out. Lower slowly, don't drop. Control every inch. The secret is in the weight being out front. Because it pulls you a little forward, your torso is forced to stay upright. You can't cheat. Your core has to work. And because the load is in front instead of on your back, your spine takes far less stress. And here comes Pavel's second big insight. Treat training as a practice, not a punishment. There's a difference. Training, the way most people think of it, is wearing yourself out. Practice is learning a skill. Every rep should make you move better, not leave you wrecked. The recipe is simple. 3 times a week, 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 reps each. That's it. Your legs get stronger, your mobility improves, and, unlike almost any workout, you'll actually enjoy doing it. It might seem like too little, but it's exactly this, a little, done well, done often, that builds strength that lasts. Level 3. The front squat. Once the goblet feels easy and solid, you move up a level. The front squat. It's a barbell squat, but the bar rests in front of your shoulders instead of on your back. Think of it as a more advanced goblet. The advantage? You can use more load, your core works harder to keep you stable, and, once again, the weight up front forces good posture. If you start to fall forward, the lift simply falls apart. You can't do it wrong and pretend it's right. Learning to squat is like learning to swim. Nobody jumps straight into the deep end. You start where you can touch the bottom. You practice the basic movements. You build confidence. Over time, you go deeper. The front squat is that step into deeper water, but you only step into it after you've mastered the edge of the pool. Level 4. The back squat. This is the squat everyone pictures. The loaded bar resting across your back. The back squat is powerful. It's the squat of weightlifters and Olympic athletes. But here's what Pavel wants you to understand. This is not where you start if you're past 50 and you've gone years without real training. Your spine wasn't built to carry weight on top like a suspension bridge. Your legs were. That's why the back squat is something you earn the right to do. After you've mastered the goblet and built mobility in your hips, your ankles, and your upper back. And when you get there, it's incredible. It allows heavy loads and trains the entire posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. Want proof that age is no excuse? Pavel's own father, Vladimir, started training strength seriously when he was already quite old. At 77, he pulled 412 pounds, 187 kilograms, in the deadlift, no belt, no equipment, and set an American record in his category. And here's the most important detail for you. Vladimir built that strength without living under a back squat bar. His leg training was kettlebell goblet squats and deadlifts. In other words, exactly the fundamentals you're learning right now. The message is clear. You don't need to start heavy. You need to start right. Level 5. The jump squat. Finally, after a lot of base has been built, there's the highest level, the jump squat. And this one matters for a reason almost nobody talks about. The first thing the body loses with age isn't raw strength. It's power, the ability to produce force fast. That's why a lot of older people can carry a heavy bag, but they trip and can't react in time to catch themselves. The slow strength is still there. The explosive strength is gone. The jump squat trains exactly that. You squat down and explode upward into a jump. You land soft, with soft knees, and repeat. This movement wakes up the fast muscle fibers and reminds your nervous system of something it forgot. That your legs were made to be powerful, not just to get you from the couch to the kitchen. Pavel likes to tell stories of Soviet athletes who kept jumping and training power well past the age of 80. Not to show off, but because keeping your power is one of the most real ways to stay young on the inside. Now, being honest with you, the jump squat is not for today if you're just starting. It's a long-term goal, but it's worth knowing because it represents the top of the ladder, proof that strong legs have no age limit on getting better. This isn't a fad. It isn't gym gimmickry. It's a system built by the Soviets, tested on the strongest soldiers and the most durable athletes ever studied. Pavel Tsatsouline took that system and handed it to the world. And now it's in your hands. Start with level 2, the goblet squat. 3 times a week, 3 to 5 sets. Don't rush. Don't skip steps. Respect the process because it's the process that works. And remember that line from the beginning? Your legs weren't made to weaken after 50. That's not aging. That's neglect. And neglect can be fixed. It starts today. If this method made sense to you, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 levels are you going to practice this week?